Gabby Barrett, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am awesome. Hey, since we're doing this on Zoom, all I see is a black background. So I don't know where you are.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Music City, Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh my God.
In
I
my
went out there.
home.
Yeah, I went out there a couple of times. The food is here's the understatement of the day. It's good. Just throwing it
Okay.
out there.
It is pretty good. I agree.
All right, Gabby Barrett's hanging out. How has quarantine treated you? Are you still on lockdown? You doing the mask? What's your part of the world doing?
I think we're still supposed to be technically quarantining. So yes, we're wearing the masks. Pretty much just baking and cooking, spending time with family while we still have this time off, which has been really nice. And kind of just letting everything soak in that's come from iHope and all of that stuff with music. So it's been good.
Gabby, of course, Goldmine, the album Goldmine came out June 2020, right in the middle of all this craziness. For people who don't have Goldmine, or maybe it's not on their radar because you're hitting the pop world now, talk about Goldmine. What do people need to know?
Goldmine. So yes, it's my debut album, first one. I would say if you've heard my song I Hope and you liked it, you definitely like this album. There's a lot of variety to it. I wrote 12 of the 13 songs on it, so I had a large hand and creative with it. And it's pretty much just over the past 2 years, me writing and kind of telling people a little bit more of who I am as a person. And so I'm really excited for people to hear it. There's a lot of different flavors on this album, so it's not just one genre kind of thing, which is pretty cool.
And of course, the track I Hope is on there twice. If you go in
Yes.
order of the album, it's the first song and the last song. And there's a meaning to, like, I think I read that you put it on there because you think you put it on there twice at the beginning and end specifically because it's such a pivotal song in your career. That's how you kind of view the song.
Yeah, 100%. I think I Hope right now is just my staple kind of career song. Hopefully I get some more of those. But especially for this album, it's my first number one too. So I put my version of just myself first, and then the last version is actually Charlie Puth hopped on and wanted to remix the song too. So I had to include that on there too.
Idol 2017, you did the Idol thing. It seems like forever ago in a lot of ways, but walk me through just, what comes to mind when I say Idol? What memories do you have?
Probably emotional roller coaster. That's really the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah, I was on Idol. It started in 2017. Then it was a season that went into 2018. I was the first. We were kind of like the guinea pig season with Luke Bryan, Katy Perry, and Lionel Richie. It was amazing in so many different ways. It was such a huge, part of my career and something I'll remember forever. It was like different worldly. I tell people like Idol was just such a whole different world, but so much has happened in 2 years from then. It's just all been great. So.
And you met your husband he was one of the contestants as well, right?
Yes, he was. I met him around top 44, I think it was, which is so funny. So, and it was like Bachelorette and American Idol in one.
Oh wow!
2 for 1.
Did you know, like, right when you met him? Not to get all personal, but did you know, like, this could be the dude, like this, or was it like it just kind of happened over time?
No, it was a little over time. I didn't think he liked me. He's one of those guys that are very shy and shuts down when he likes a girl, but then that gives the wrong signal to the girl sometimes, telling them like you don't like them. So it was a little crazy at first, but then when he texted me every single day, I just knew. So
At that point, yeah, it's a given. Psycho fan encounters. I am not saying all your fans are psycho. They're beautiful, lovely, wonderful people. However, sometimes fans get a little extra, I even have that, and I don't sing. I don't sing at all. Give me one of those stories.
You know what? I've been very blessed not to run into any crazy bad situations. I mean, the only ones that I can say is pretty much that I've just caught people coming up to me and clearly asking me to sign stuff to sell it on eBay, like multiple eBay or whatever they're selling it on. And so I've kind of caught on to that. They'll come up with like the same multiple like little microphones or a little guitar or ukulele and I'm signing it and somebody behind them's like taking a picture of me signing it and I know how to catch them and shoo it away. So that's literally, I swear, is like the worst it's gotten, thankfully, in 9 years of performing. So.
I've seen those. They are sneaky. They are all over LA.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, who knows? Your little tiny autographed microphone's probably for sale somewhere on Hollywood Boulevard right now.
Probably. Enjoy.
Gabby, I read some quote, and if you can clarify this, when you were writing iHope, you stopped your co-writer because you thought it was too nice at one point. Then, of course, the song turns into this nicest yet brutal love, whatever you want to call it, song. What was that quote? Describe that, or am I just completely nuts?
No, it was, the writing process of the song. We wrote it on Halloween of 2018. It was me, John Knight, and Zach Hale. And they had come in and just said, they had an idea of what to write. And I was like, okay, let me hear it. And they were like, what if the guy does the girl wrong, but the girl still kind of like wishes the guy well in the end? Like the girl's supposed to act like nothing's wrong, like everything's fine. And I was just like, that's not really how that goes for anybody, honestly, if we're being honest. And so we wrote from kind of a perspective of me in high school and what I went through and heartbreak and all that kind of thing. And so that's where the writing process came from.
Yeah, he did her wrong. She's okay with it. No,
Yeah,
not happening.
No.
Of course, the original version of iHope is It's All You. But the version we're about to play in a few minutes is you and Charlie Puth. And the meeting, Charlie Puth basically, tell me the story how he posted your track, and that's how the whole thing started, right?
Yes, so he had heard it off of some streaming platform and actually took a screenshot of it, posted it on his Instagram story, and tagged me in it, and it said like, wow, or whatever. And I was going through my Instagram messages one day, and I saw his verified check, and so I clicked on it. And he was like, oh my gosh, this song is amazing. He's like, I haven't heard a song like this in years, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And then he goes, is there any way that I can remix this song? He was like, I have to remix this song. And I was like, yes. And so our teams, it was during quarantine, so we didn't meet, but we briefly spoke over the phone. And our teams just kind of got together, and now there's a new version of the song, which is pretty cool.
Wow, how cool is that, man? Wait till you meet him in person. He is, and I mean this in the best way, he's a hot mess. You're going to love him.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Touched on a couple of things about the track. What else do people need to know about iHope?
What else do people need to know about iHope?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, probably not to do women wrong.
There it is. Can I ask a question? No names required, and I always ask this of artists. Does the person, did you write it about someone in particular, or is it just a generic story? No names, of course, once again.
I went through a few not so great, like early on high school relationships. And it's probably why I was so picky with men and stuff like that till later on in life. But it's aimed towards a couple stories that kind of went down in my life. So.
Okay. And follow up to that. No names once again, but do you have any idea if those people know that this song is loosely about them?
I mean, the song,
I would love that.
The song it was my first #1 to country radio. I'd be surprised if they didn't hear it, and be surprised if they didn't know that they may be involved.
So if you know, take that.
You know.
2-part question. What's the biggest crowd you've ever performed for? And the complete flip of that, in so many ways, have you ever been booed?
The biggest crowd I've ever performed for, does it count for national anthem or performing?
Anything that totally counts. Absolutely.
Probably the Daytona 500. How many people is that?
God,
Daytona 500 is 100,000 to 300,000 people. That was insane. So probably that. And then no, fortunately, I have not gotten booed. I'm very blessed to say that.
That is not a bad thing.
Yes.
If it ever happens, though, I've heard some crazy stories, Gabby. Calvin Harris told me once, and I tell the story all the time. He was on tour with Rihanna. When he came out with the song with Rihanna, they were in France, and he came out, to do his thing, and the whole place booed him. And he was like, what the heck? I have a song with Rihanna.
Right.
Of course, they don't boo him anymore, but, it happens. Obviously, we're not on the road at this point because, the world's crazy. But are you anxious to get out on the road? Because normally at this stage of an album and the track is just so huge, you would be touring everywhere if things were normal. Are you ready to get out at some point?
Yes, definitely. I mean, since quarantine and things are still wild at the moment. We're just trying to be wise with timing and kind of taking it day by day. But yeah, I was actually supposed to be on tour with Brad Paisley right now. That was going to be the tour for this year. So we'll see kind of what happens next year. But I'm taking it as a positive because releasing the album during quarantine gives people more time to learn the songs. So it'll be really cool when, you know, I first start performing the songs from the album for the first couple times. If people know the songs, it's just going to be so much fun. So, do
you think touring is going to be a lot different in regards to like meet and greets? I'm trying to picture how things will go. Will it be a glass petition? Are you taking pics with a face mask? I mean, there's so many, you know, moving parts to this. Have you guys had discussions on how things like that will take place?
I don't know. I'm actually hoping like promoters and venues and things like that provide like more hand sanitizer and like spray stuff down, and just because we know how serious things can get. But it depends on kind of when meet and greets fall back into place for next year. I think it won't be a glass wall and 6 feet away. Hopefully not. So we'll see.
Yeah, 10-foot selfie. Gabby, I'm told you are, and this is pretty cool if this is the truth, somewhat friends with Carrie Underwood. And the reason I say that's kind of cool is because, to my understanding, she's one of your idols, and to become friends with someone you have on a pedestal, so to speak, is it's kind of neat, you know? So is that true in your relationship with Carrie?
Yeah, Carrie is definitely, I mean, she was in my time zone of growing up and who I listened to kind of thing. And yeah, I would say that pretty much we're friends for the most part. I met her on Idol. She came onto my season of Idol, and she came on as like a guest mentor. And it's just so nice to meet a celebrity that you look up to. And they're the same and even better actually on and off of the camera. It's the worst thing when you meet a celebrity and they're like super nice and fake on the camera, and then they turn it off and they're mean. You're like, no, I liked you, no. And so she's not like that. She is amazing. She gave me her phone number after Idol had ended and just said, hey, let me know if you ever need anything. Carrie's just somebody that's super nice. So I know that she's somebody in the music industry that's another female that I can always lean on or ask questions to.
What was her take on iHope? I assume she loved.
She actually texted me when the song had went #1. It was like, congrats. This is such an awesome time in life, and enjoy it, and hope all is going well. And I texted her for Mother's Day, and we text back and forth. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's just too much. Oh my God. Gabby, have you ever been, and I think your answer might be Carrie Underwood to this question, but have you ever been starstruck? If so, who? Walk me through it.
Yeah, it probably would have been Carrie Underwood. She was, I'm very few, like it takes me a lot to get to that point of like fangirl out. And there was like a handful of those with me growing up. And Carrie was definitely one. Just, again, she was somebody that I listened to just growing up and just watched her on everything. I remember my parents voting for her to win American Idol. So she was somebody that was very important. Yes, I couldn't keep it together when I met her. I was so like nervous and excited. And now I understand what point fans get to when they come up to you and they're like crying and stuff, and how excited they have to be, because I felt that for her too. So it's just funny to see the pattern kind of continue.
I think I read your first concert was One Direction. So I assume they were, you know, kind of a thing for you. Have you met those guys yet?
My sister and I, yes, we were One Direction fans. I was, I think, 14 at the time, and we went crazy for One Direction. So, and then Eric Church was my second concert, so that was fun.
Have you met the One Direction guys? Have you met them?
No.
We
never got to meet them. But...
Yeah, I know Niall super well. I'm talking to Niall on Monday.
Oh, so cool.
Should I give Niall a message from Gabby Barrett?
Oh my gosh, tell him I said hello, and my sister and I love his music.
I'll tell you one random story with Louis Tomlinson. Louis tattooed me. There is an LT that he put on my skin.
What?
He is an evil man in the best way possible. So long story.
Awesome.
I'll tell you that someday. Gabby, weirdest place you've been asked for a selfie. I assume it hasn't happened over the last couple of months for obvious reasons, but weirdest place, you know, fan. I've heard some crazy stories, bathrooms, you know, funerals. It's just some weird things happen.
Yeah, I'd probably say the bathroom. Yeah. Going in the bathroom, and I was in not star mode. I had like a t-shirt and I still don't understand how people can like notice even when you look crazy. But yeah, I was in the bathroom and there was like bathroom stalls like open in the back and I was like, peace sign selfie. So the bathroom was the first one that comes to mind. It's crazy.
Dude,
I know.
I mean, if this, this should be a rule. I think it kind of is, but new rule, no bathroom selfies.
Yeah, maybe just go outside the bathroom.
That's a fair ask, I think.
Yeah.
What is it like when you hit number one? I know iHope. I mean, that had to be mind blowing. Walk me through that. Either you got a call or a text or an email. What's that moment like when they unveil to you that your song is number one?
Oh gosh, I don't think you can really put one word to it. I know it sounds cliche, but that's really how it is when you're put in that situation. I have been performing for 9 years and you're in the mindset so long of, okay, I got to get to this place because that's what you dream of is like number ones and albums and selling out stadiums and that type of thing. And so I was in the mindset for so long of, okay, we're trying to get to the number one place. And then when somebody actually breaks the news to you and is like, hey, it's actually number one in the country. It's like, what? And yes, so my management and my label did like a surprise phone call. My husband and I were driving back to Nashville from East Texas, and it was, you just feel like you're walking on the clouds and everything is worth it. Every early, lobby call, airplane ride, tired day, it's all worth it. So.
Wow. Well, congrats on everything. And this track is blown up.
Thank
Gabby
you.
Barrett, of course. Quick recap. iHope. 2 versions, of course, out. One with just you, one with Charlie Puth. Of course, the album Goldmine is out. Hopefully back on the road at some point near future, 2021. Who knows? We'll get to all that when it happens. What else do people need to know about Gabby Barrett before I let you go on this Zoom?
I would just really encourage people to check out the album right now. That's the main thing that I have been extremely excited for the past couple months, and especially during quarantine and everything's still going to be quiet pretty much throughout the year, I'm guessing. So I would say to look into the album because if you want to kind of get to know me a little bit more, you're going to know me through the songs and through the variety on the album. So check it out. Goldmine. Stream it. Tell your mom, your dad, and everybody you know. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Gabby, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
At the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official. Hit that digital cam.
Hit that camera. Ooh.